Well. Here we are, ladies and gents. Here we are, the end of football as we know it. The absolute end of football as we know it. There it is. It's not good, is it? It's pure greed, not acceptable, especially in a pandemic. End of football, don't get my yearly trip to Moscow. That's clearly something that I've said in my Wigan video. Great. But it is pure greed. We'll get into everything in a second. I'm just gonna tell you what, guys. The StreamYard link that you need to join this stream is in the live chat. The StreamYard link is in the live chat. If you want to say your piece for a minute or two, just click that link and then you're on here. Simple as. Lewis Perry puts it right. It's an absolute disgrace. It is disgraceful. It's disgraceful. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Also, what I don't like as well, StreamYard have changed the banners. Well, what have they done there then? Oh. There we go. I've sorted that. We have our first guest in the stream. Lewis, what have you got to say?
I think it's just pure disgrace. One, fan bases, it's just, like you say, it's greed. It's just going to ruin football very quickly and people will leave and go somewhere else.
They will. We've got cancel the Super League here. You're right, Aaron.
It's an absolute fucking disgrace. I put a video out there last night. I'm probably going to do another one before the Accrington game. It's an absolute disgrace. It's shambles. Kroenke, Glazer, Henry, Perez, Levy, you're a bunch of cunts.
All of them. Absolutely all of them. It's on all of them. Hello, Stephen and Blair as well. It's disgraceful that this is going ahead. And we'll just look through the live comments quickly. Smokey Sleech F the Super League. Yep. It's more than bull crap, mate. It's just bullshit.
By the way, the fans are taking a big stand here. There's fans outside Old Trafford. There's fans scheduled to be protesting outside Stamford Bridge.
Anfield as well.
Who?
Even the players.
Fans outside Anfield.
Yeah. Arsenal might be protesting.
There was one at Spurs earlier.
I saw that, yeah. What are your thoughts?
Man United,
Stephen?
It's just money, minded, isn't it?
That's all it is. It is pure money.
And Man United's stock market value, according to the Mirror, is skyrocketed by £180 million.
See, is it any surprise though that the financial state of some teams at the moment? Barcelona in nearly £2 billion of debt. Real Madrid in over £1 billion in debt. Tottenham have just spent 500 million on a new stadium.
And they've sacked Jose Mourinho. So they've actually given him £30 million to...
The reason they've sacked Mourinho is because this morning he refused to take training.
That's not true.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, to be fair... Yeah, I've heard reports that's not true, and the sacking's got nothing to do with that. It's to do with the results.
Is that just a cover up, though? Is that just a cover up? Because I don't see them sacking a player. It's not sacking a player, sacking a manager 6 days before a cup final. I don't see that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
Edgar Hollywood, what have you got to say, mate? Have the stage.
I want to say that thanks for having me on, first of all. And I just wanted to say that this league is it's an absolute joke, really, you know, just ruining the tradition, the clubs, fans, you know.
It is.
It's ruining it, and
I've just seen a tweet.
And yeah, it's not really ideal.
I've just seen.
With UEFA. Hopefully, UEFA can stop this. Maybe take it to court. You know.
Yeah.
They won't be able to stop it. They will not be able to stop it. They won't. It's simple as they will commit to it. And I hate to say, because as much as I hate for it to go ahead, it will go ahead. It will, 100%.
And you know what the best thing is? I've just seen a tweet from the Madrid zone. Super League owners are looking to secure with broadcasters like Amazon, Facebook, Disney, and Comcast. It will raise the annual revenues up to $4 billion, twice more than the Champions League.
It's ridiculous.
Can I please just put something out there? I don't know how many of you guys are F1 fans. I know you are, Joe.
Yeah.
They are planning. I don't know if you watch Strive to Survive.
I watched Strive to Survive. Yeah.
They're planning on doing something similar to that. I don't know how. I don't know.
How do you work that out?
I'll just see somewhere.
How can you do that with 15 teams across a football season? It doesn't work.
Barnes has just put out a statement as well. Barnes just put out a statement on the situation.
What did they say? Just something along the lines of no.
Well, obviously we saw that Preston and Lincoln have put out their statements and they said no. And Barnsley have basically just said the EFL stands with the Premier League, the FA, the PFA, the LMA and the FSA in condemnation of proposals which attack the foundation of open and fair competition. Yeah, and just they're going to continue to work with people to try and stop it. But Barnsley have put out the same statement.
I mean, just to say as well, sorry for those watching that come in the stream. I can only have 6 on screen at once. So it's a joke, isn't it? It's an absolute joke. So, interesting comment here is about the England team.
Yeah.
Now we've got a golden generation coming through, and the player and the majority of players. All right, Owen. The majority of players for us, for this country, come from the Big Six. And Kieran Trippier's from Atletico Madrid. So, what will the England team look like? I'd probably say Nick Pope in goal, back 4, Ayling, Konsa, Mings, left back Aaron Cresswell, midfield, Rice, Phillips, Grealish, front 3, probably.
I think Bamford will have a shout.
Yeah, Bowen. Maybe Coppinger will get his England chance, Aaron.
I think he's retiring. I think the club statement from the club this April confirmed that he's going to be given a send off at the end of the season. So he's going to be retiring at the end of the season. I just caught wind of something. Munich and Dortmund didn't want. Schalke confirmed as the first German Super League team, according to
Schalke.
Schalke. I'm not lying.
They've not won a game in like 2 years.
The bottom of the league.
They've got like 2 points, haven't they? Something stupid like that.
Something like that, yeah. But because Schalke have reached the Champions League semi-final because of their owners, they're considered to be rich enough to be part of the Super League. It's a fucking joke.
I thought Arsenal was bad.
I thought Spurs was bad. But no, Arsenal play worse. But I mean,
Won't
you know
say
what? This
Sheffield
affects
United.
us. This affects us as the Football League fans because
Put Sheffield United in it. Yeah, I agree, Blair.
You might
I
have done
agree.
it well. You might as well.
but you know
On that
what? To be
logic,
fair,
bloody Rochdale in it.
well, to be fair, the good thing about us, like Hull and Doncaster, is we're going to be in higher leagues than Arsenal and Man United if they get kicked out of the Premier League. But
We are.
the
If they-
but the
when-
bad
when
thing
all
is, you know, we get the financial care packages from the Premier League because all the finance are going to the Super League now. They're going to get less and less, which means more Football League clubs are going to go out of business, and that's a disgrace.
That's going to take all the big six leaving the Premier League is going to take all the money out of the English game until that Super League goes absolutely tits up, and then they're forced to come crawling back and have to work their way through the non-leagues, the National League,
We
League
can
Two.
we can have a shot of getting Premier League football now. We could have a shot of getting Premier League football in the future.
You've been awful since Darren Moore left, and you could still get Championship football.
If we go on a run now with the rest of our games starting tomorrow, because we won against Shrewsbury, if we win again against Accrington tomorrow, and we go on a run for the rest of this season and win the rest of our games against Peterborough, Rochdale, Blackpool, and Fleetwood as well, and a couple of results go our way, and we get sixth place, and it's 6 up, we will get Championship football, despite everything that's happened this season with Darren Moore, with Ben Whiteman. We could get Championship football because of this top six, bottom six thing. And my God, if we both get promoted by the end of this season, I hate the Super League, but I'll be fucking parading down
See, it's
Harvest
great
Close.
for us. It's great for fans like me and you, Aaron. Short term, little club could get an advantage, but eventually, where does all the funding for the league go? Premier League, just like the government haven't, they've not just got an endless pot of money that they can dip into.
Well, I think we've got to do what we've done for years, and that's try and do it ourselves. Try and build the club ourselves with what we've got to work with.
Invest what every single team now has.
It's nothing different though. It's nothing different to what we've done for years though, because we've always worked ourselves. We've not really been given a fund to work, even under John Ryan's ownership. We've not really been given a massive budget to play with, so we've always had to do it ourselves. And we got like 10th place in the championship. That's our highest ever finish under Sean O'Driscoll back in like 10 years ago. So if we do it ourselves, and think of it, if we get sixth place and we get championship football because the top six going down, we've by the summer transfer window, we'll have championship football, and we've got a new manager coming in. Apparently, the battle at the minute, it's between Richie Wellens and Mickey Mellon, according to several news reports. So it's Mellon versus Wellens. We get him. We're reported to be looking at Jack Payne and his relegation release clause at Swindon. That's a good player. And we're also looking apparently at Scott Twine from Swindon as well. So if Wellens comes in, we're going to get two Swindon players. Rumoured, I'm not going to confirm this, but we're rumoured to be bringing in 12 new players, but less loans and more permanent. So we're going to get more permanent players. So we could be only getting 2 or 3 loans and 9 or 10 permanent players this summer.
Is Taylor Richards the new permanent or loan?
I don't think any of the loanees are going to be permanent deals. Taylor Richards is probably going to go to Sheffield Wednesday on loan from Brighton next season and play under Darren Moore, despite his performance against Shrewsbury. Reece James might walk. Halliday might walk. Joe Wright might walk. It's interesting.
Yeah. Right, we've just got Luke in there now. So I'm just gonna take you off the screen for a second, Blair, and we're gonna put Luke in. Luke, what are your thoughts, mate?
It's an absolute joke, as I said on Aaron's stream earlier. But I've seen that Porto have rejected it now as well.
Yeah,
Schalke's
Porto.
replacing them. Schalke's replacing them.
Yeah, Dortmund CEO has come out on behalf of them and Bayern, saying that they were offered it. They've said no. Porto have said no. All that needs to be said is Joel Glazer is the vice chairman of this entire league.
The Glazers and Ed Woodward and the Real Madrid president are the ones heading this up.
Respect.
We've got currently Apparently, Juventus, AC Milan, and Inter have stepped down. Time to put North Ferriby in there. Arsenal,
when they say they've stepped down, do you mean they've stepped down of their own domestic league?
I think it means that they've cancelled their, what do you call it, into the Super League.
Wait, hang on. So they've
Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham, and Chelsea have apparently stepped down. Man United have stepped down, people are saying. Arsenal put a post out about their involvement. That post has now been removed, but the article is still up. I'm disgusted, honestly. We've got Man United and Tottenham have stepped down. Kimo is Potter for England. Danny Ings and Sancho, yeah. Calvert-Lewin.
No, the Arsenal post about being one of the 12 founding clubs is still on their Twitter.
Yeah.
Is it?
Just check right
It's
now.
still there.
Yep. They're there. They're live.
So I think they're stepping down from the Premier League. I think they're stepping down from the Premier League officially.
All the fans being 22 would be in World Cup or Euros. Mourinho as character, so I think the training thing is true. As I said earlier, I think that it is a cover-up.
I think it's true.
Because no team sacks a manager on performance 6 days before a final.
Yeah.
The sport is ruined, says Lucas. Ripped to small clubs. Arsenal disgrace. Aris is an Arsenal fan. I know Aris from school. He's an Arsenal fan. We go if we win tomorrow. Yes, we do. If we get promoted tomorrow, I'm not going to feel bothered. I think the Super League could still be stopped-ish. Owen's fuming about this.
I think
I'll put the StreamYard link back in.
I think that guy that commented that Man U and Arsenal and that are stepping down, I think that's stepping down from the Premier League. Now that I've seen Arsenal's kept that European Super League tweet up and announcing it, I see it being stepping down. And the Premier League said they're going to be kicking teams out of the Premier League if they, if they say to them, yes, we're going to do the Super League. So I think this is Juventus, AC, and Inter stepping down from. Yeah. I think this is Juventus, Inter Milan, and AC Milan stepping down from Serie A, and I think this is Arsenal, the Manchesters, and Tottenham stepping down from the Premier League, and I think that Liverpool and Chelsea will be next to announce they're stepping down from the Premier League.
Right, I'm just gonna put some new people on the stream quickly. So those who have been here a little bit, I'm just gonna take you off for a moment. We've got two more now. We've got Talk Blue FC.
Hello, lads.
Dean,
who do you think will be the next team manager?
Let's see how much this costs.
Next Hull City manager. I think McCann's in a job. I think you've got the wrong end of the debate here, pal. I think
if we get to the Prem, it'd be good if we get Ronaldo.
Okay.
That's not career mode, mate.
The Premier League is set to hold a meeting with the clubs that aren't in the Super League, and the clubs that are in the Super League have not been invited to the meeting, which will be held by Richard Masters, the Premier League chairman, and they're going to be reaching a decision as to what's going to happen this season, by the end of this season. So the Premier League clubs that aren't in the league are going to coincide with the Premier League chairman, make a decision, and then we're going to get that decision at some point in the next 24, 48 hours, hopefully. And the decision, from what I've heard, is most likely going to be that the Premier League are going to kick out the big six teams, and the Premier League will end up, fixtures getting stopped, etc. That could be a possibility, and if that is a possibility, we can confirm that Leicester City will be the champions of the Premier League, and Leicester, Everton, West Ham, and Leeds will be in the Champions League, with Wolves, Aston Villa, and Crystal Palace being in the Europa League. No one gets relegated, and Bournemouth, Norwich, Watford, Swansea, Barnsley, and Brentford will be in the Premier League next season.
Now, this is quite poignant here. I've just seen this on Twitter where Boris Johnson has said that the government will work with football authorities to. Now, that is massive because that's the Prime Minister of this country.
You know what? I've got 50-50 trust in that statement because how long will it be? How long will it be before he bends over, takes it up the arse, and gets the Super League money through?
Marcus, what are your thoughts, mate? Marcus, what are your thoughts at the moment?
Well, I feel bad for the top 6 fans and that, and like the smaller clubs, because then you can't have that feeling of beating them.
I bet.
Like cups.
It's probably be not too long. We'll be back in the Prem. Maybe.
Keep going, Marcus.
And I think it's, but why they've done it? Like the football was perfectly going fine, and they decided to like.
I mean, look, you have to actually see the other side.
And the other leagues.
Oh my God!
Like,
what?
They've got the Champions League, the European League.
What have you just seen, Aaron?
It's according to the Man United View, but it's been tweeted, not retweeted, but posted up by the United Stand. Man United view the Premier League's threat to expel teams who have joined the Super League as a hollow threat that is ultimately not legally enforceable, even though it is in the rule book, and do not believe the Premier League will have the nerve to ban them, according to the Mirror.
I disagree.
Premier League's got the nerve. The Premier League's got the nerve to ban them. I know that.
He is keeping the integrity of this Premier League.
Personally, for me, I think we have to see the other side here. And if the Super League does go ahead, I mean, look, we have to take the positives out of it. We can't just keep taking the negatives out of it because it's going to be the way of football if it does carry on. And
and according to Eduardo Hagen, the journalist, Nasser El Khelafi has declined the offer of becoming president of the European Club Association. It suggests that leaving the door open for PSG to join the Super League in the future. So the door's been left open for Paris Saint-Germain.
Nasser, is it? Who's that? Nasser
I believe he's the chairman of PSG or the owner of PSG, but he's declined the offer of becoming president at the ECA. But the door's been left open for PSG to join the Super League, according to journalist Adam Crafton.
Yeah, that's the president of PSG.
Yeah, so he's declined being president of the ECA. So the door is open for PSG to join the Super League. Oh, here we go. Brian Swanson from Sky Sports just tweeted a graph of Man United's and their share price today. From the 14th of April, it was bouncing around. It was bouncing around the 16 million, and it's just gone up over like 3/4 towards 18 million on the 19th of April, the day of the Super League announcement. They've just raised a couple of million, Man United, in share prices. That's how greedy they are.
As we said earlier, teams in a financial mess. Barcelona in debt. Real Madrid in debt. Tottenham buying their stadium. Every single team making a loss during this pandemic.
I'm not sure if you lads saw this, but Chelsea and Man City, apparently they were like forced into it because they don't want to feel left out. So
I heard that.
Okay, I got a lot of whole teammates by the way.
Oh god. Chelsea and Man City feeling left out of this. I'm not too sure, to be perfectly honest.
Maybe not Tom Eves.
No, just bring in Fajiri Okunabiri and you're fine. But
right, we're gonna put...
no. In all seriousness, it was great to see him score against his old club a couple of days ago in the 2-0 win. We finally won a game. We know what winning feels like. We know what winning feels like, and we're still 6 points off the playoffs as well. So we're still a good chance. Oh, finally, that guy's gone.
Owen, what have
I don't know what to say about this. I think it's all for the money. I think this league is. It's all about the money, and they just run football.
Precisely. It is just ruining the game. It is a complete mess.
I just got a statement according to Sports Bible from Marcelo Bielsa, who said, one of the reasons football is the most popular sport in the world is because the weak can beat the powerful. Perfectly said.
I said that to my next door neighbour when I went to talk to him when I came home from school today. I says, having a league where you can't get relegated, what's that about?
Yeah, and
the power.
Diabolical, lads.
We got a post from the chief football reporter of the Daily Mail, Sami Mokbel, who says government will come under pressure not to award work permits to Premier League breakaway six for new foreign signings if the Super League comes into fruition, would effectively prevent them from recruiting overseas players.
Was that from the government?
The what?
Was that from the Boris Johnson and the government?
Apparently, yeah, but that's been reported by one of the chief football reporters from one of the highly regarded news sources.
Personally, as long as this just doesn't go ahead, mate, it'll be all good for me personally, because I've had about 4 years of season tickets at Stamford Bridge, and
this is what I mean. And this is what I mean. You know, it feels like it just feels like death all over it. I mean, look at. If they kick them out of the league and the league gets ended with no other fixtures being played apart from obviously the ones today against West Brom, Wolves, and Leeds, Liverpool, if that goes ahead still.
Gary Neville called the Leeds-Liverpool game Leeds versus Greeds.
Exactly.
Well said.
I've just said this right. I've just said this before on another stream. If the league stops after today and this week, etc., and there's nothing going on, and the Premier League kick out the big six and the league is over, no relegations and just promotions for next season. Basically, how it will look is Leicester will be champions of the Premier League and they could win the FA Cup by default as well. Leicester, Everton, West Ham United and Leeds United will be in the Champions League. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Aston Villa and Crystal Palace will play in next season's Europa League, which...
mate.
Hang on a second. I've got another thing as well, because I'm not sure whether it's one place or three for the new Europa Conference League. So if we take that into account, hang on. If we take that into account, it will be Southampton and either Southampton, Newcastle and Brighton in the Europa Conference League, Burnley, Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield United, the only ones without European football.
Christ.
So then that would mean
Brighton, Southampton, and Newcastle in the Europa Conference League, and Norwich, Watford, Swansea, Brentford, Bournemouth, and Barnsley in the Premier League at the moment. If Reading can't sneak in there, and then it would mean that 6 need to get promoted from League One, which at the minute is Hull, Peterborough, Sunderland, Lincoln, Blackpool, and Portsmouth. But we could sneak in there. And then it will start talking about League Two, and there's not going to be a top 7 this season. It's only going to be 6 places in, and Oxford, not Portsmouth, but we're still in the fight as well. But then you look at League Two's table to replace the 6 that have gone up from League One: Cambridge, Cheltenham, Morecambe, Bolton, Tranmere. I think Forest Green's in that 6.
Let me have a little look. I've been
Newport would miss out.
On the screen.
Yeah, and then you get 6 promoted from the Vanarama National League to fill in the League 2 slots, and then to fill in the National League slots, you'd have the big 6 from the Premier League that have to compete in the Vanarama National League. So, Cambridge, Charlton, yeah, and then in the National League, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Man City, Liverpool, and Spurs would be replacing Hartlepool, Sutton, Torquay, Stockport, Wrexham, and Halifax Town.
There you go. There's your comprehensive review of this situation. Right, we've got some new additions to the stream. We'll go to Josh first. Josh, what have you got to say?
Oh. You're on mute.
There we go.
Hello.
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 Yeah, go on, lad.
Oh, he's gone.
So yeah, I'm a Chelsea fan,
okay.
and all I've got to say is loads of memories are just gone. And as the wise legend said, Didier Drogba, it's a disgrace.
Joe, can I just make a good point here? And this is the only positive as like a lower club fan. The only positive I can see out of this is it gives these like smaller clubs the chance of winning cups and trophies, and that's the only positive I can see. That's literally it.
That is the only positive. But does it take the value of those trophies away because the traditional big 6 have gone and the prize money won't be the same because that big 6 are no longer there?
Yes, because you've worked yourself to get to that point and to win the thing, but you haven't came against the top 6 where you would struggle if you got what I mean.
Yeah.
Couple of statements from a couple of legendary Premier League players from the modern era. On Twitter, Lucas Podolski has put out a statement in the last few hours. Today I woke up to crazy news, angry emoji, an insult to my belief. Football is happiness, freedom, passion, fans, this for everyone. This project is disgusting, not fair, and I'm disappointed to see clubs I represented involved fight against this. Hashtag stop the Super League. And then Bakary Sagna overnight put out a statement. I think I would stop watching football because the football I know is not football anymore. Crying emoji.
Mesut Ozil has said as well that his statement says kids grow up dreaming to win the World Cup and the Champions League, not any Super League. The enjoyment of big games is that they only happen once or twice a year, not every week. Really hard to understand for all football fans out there. Heartbroken emoji.
New statement according to Fabrizio Romano from Bayern's president Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, who says Bayern did not participate in the planning of a Super League. We are convinced that the current Champions League in football guarantee a reliable basis. Bayern and Dortmund are the example right now.
I have just seen that. Fabrizio Romano has also said Alexander Cheferin will meet legals to decide about sanctions for the clubs involved in the UCL and Europa League this season. He says we will try to use all sanctions against the hashtag Super League clubs as soon as possible. They have to be banned from all our competitions, players too. These are so-called big clubs. It's clear that the big clubs of today were not always big clubs. Juventus were in Serie B. Man United before Sir Alex Ferguson was I don't know where. We will do all sanctions we can within the law, of course.
And did you see the statement from an unnamed board member at one of the 6 clubs involved in the Super League from England? Our primary job is to maximise our revenues and profits. The wider good of the game is a secondary concern, and they don't care about backlash and opinions from the fans. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Absolute disgrace of a human being.
It's therefore the Man City owners.
It's either Tottenham or Arsenal or Man U, surely.
I mean, Man City and Chelsea don't really need the money, to be honest.
No, Man City and Chelsea won't say that. Liverpool probably won't come out with something like that. It's either going to be the mighty Glazer, the mighty Cronky, or the fucking useless Levy.
Yeah.
I'm back in Glazer, you know. I'm back in Glazer. Because Man United...
I think it's Glazer or Cronky. I think it's Glazer or Cronky. I think either one of them...
Man United are a brand. Manchester United are a brand.
Yeah.
We've got 2 more people in the stream now. We've got Joshy and Kirk. We'll go to Kirk first. What are your thoughts?
Well, there's no other way to describe this than an absolute joke, really. It's hard to believe. You know, it's what is going on right now. You know?
It is. Hull City fan just put in here, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I hope Leeds win tonight.
Yeah. I had a whole fan on my stream earlier that said he hopes Leeds smashes Liverpool. And did you see what Leeds did on their website? I don't know if it's still there, but apparently they've changed the names of the big 6 clubs in the Super League. So it looks like PES soccer games. So basically on their fixture list, they've got it listed
Let me have a look.
Leeds versus Merseyside Reds, and then when they're going to face Arsenal, it's called London Reds. Chelsea's called London Blues. Man U's called Trafford Red. Man City's called something like City Blues. I've heard, and that came from the Hull fan on my stream earlier. I don't know if it's still there or not, but they've listed them as Merseyside Reds. I'm not sure if it's still there or not, but I thought that if it's still there, that's class.
Leeds' website is a... Right, let me have a look. Let me share my whole screen so you can see what I'm doing and maybe give me a bit of guide.
I'm going to look on. I'm looking on the website.
This is laid out so badly. This is atrocious. Tickets.
Well, from the looks of it, the names have gone back to Liverpool and United, but I don't know where. Hang on, something must have come up, surely. Something must have come up, surely.
This website is so poor. Latest news. Club.
I don't know if Leeds have put out a statement or anything like that.
This is shocking website design.
Yeah.
Match Centre.
I don't know if I think the names might have gone back to where I think the names have gone back to what they were, but at one time they were listed as Merseyside Reds and Trafford Reds for United, and just something really class like that, just to denounce the reputation of the big 6 clubs in this Super League.
I'm not sure you saw the Fulham tweet as well.
Yeah. Fair play to Leeds. Fair play.
The Fulham tweet was class as well, to be honest.
Oh, here we go. Someone put something on Twitter last night and said AC Milan, no league title since 2011. Inter, no league title since 2010. Juventus, 4th in Serie A. Atletico, no league title since 2014. Arsenal, no league title since 2004. Chelsea, 5th in the Premier League. Man United, no league title since 2013. Spurs, laughing emoji. Super League, embarrassing. Super League, embarrassing.
Fabulous, isn't it? It's absolutely fabulous. Bayern Munich manager Hansi Flick says, I'm focused on different topics, but I can say that the Super League would not be good for European football.
I think that's a factor in him leaving the club. I think that because there was a lot of backroom unrest, according to some journalists from Sky in the past few weeks. I think he knew about this Super League, and I think he left because he didn't want to be a part of that, and that was the final nail in the coffin for him. But apparently, according to Hotspur Live, Nagelsmann is the one Tottenham want, and are absolutely going to go for him, according to Alistair Gold, who's a journalist. But that was reposted on Twitter by Hotspur Live. And Tottenham fans, disgraceful. They're just like, yeah, let's go, Nagelsmann next season as manager. Have you not forgotten where you're going to be?
I mean,
and if they forgotten they literally sacked Jose Mourinho.
You know what? To be fair, they joined the Super League, and as soon as they sacked Mourinho, they're like, "Yeah, we sacked Mourinho." They don't even care about the Super League.
They don't, do they?
The Spurs fans are falling right into the fucking trap. They're falling into the trap big time. They're going to get bought out by these owners.
I mean, do you know how Jose got sacked? What was the reasoning behind it, or just poor game
The
planning?
reasoning behind it is reportedly because he refused to take training. Him and Daniel Levy had a massive argument about it, and he said, basically, he says, if you're going for this scheme, I'm not taking training. So Daniel Levy goes, all right, fuck off then. Mourinho goes, oh, with pleasure. And Tottenham are giving the whispers that it's performance-based, but no team sacks a manager 6 days before a cup final unless it's for something like that.
Oh, God.
Right. Rangers for life. Come on the stream, mate. In fact, we'll get a couple more people on there. Joshua, you'll have your moment to talk in a second, mate. We're just going to get a couple more people.
Sidemen FC have said they're not going to do the European Super League.
Well, personally, I think you're kind of over-exaggerating. I think the Super League should happen. I think it's a good thing.
Right. Okay. All right. All right, mate.
Well, it's a bit rude to laugh at someone, but okay, let me voice my opinion. I think it's going to bring a lot more teams together, and it's going to allow more matches to happen within a short period of time, so fans don't have to wait for the matches. Because currently we're waiting like 5 to 7 days for a match to happen, and I think it's going to bring the wait time to like 2 to 3 days. I just want to see a lot of big games happen.
Romano statement. Meeting ongoing between Serie A clubs to discuss about Super League, but now also Juventus, AC Milan, and Inter have joined the other 17 clubs in the meetings. They were expected to be out from the club's conversation today.
Oh, right. Rangers for life talk. Then we'll go to Joshy. Then we'll go to Harry.
I think this Super League is gonna affect the lower leagues, just as like the Scottish League, and I think financially these clubs can't compete with the other clubs that are in this league, and it's just gonna affect everyone in different ways.
Yeah, it is. It is. I agree with them. It is going to affect lower leagues more because the further you go down, you're going to have more teams having to get promoted. And the further you put these big six down, the more that they've got to climb back up.
Yeah.
And things like that. Right then.
Yeah, if you look on DFL Deutsche Football Liga, the German sort of federation of football on Twitter and on their website dfl.de, there's a joint statement out now on the situation by the DFL and the DFB, the Deutsche Fußballbund, which the whole sort of, it's a joint statement by the DFL and the DFB on the situation.
There we go. It says German football, the DFL Deutsche Fußballliga, and the German Football Association, DFB, is appalled by the foundation of a Super League. We stand in solidarity with UEFA and its president, Alexander Cheferin. At the same time, we support I can't talk. We'll skip over that by FIFA, UEFA, and the affected national leagues and associations. We are aware that this may also affect the selection of German national team players and that are contracted to such Super League clubs. The future of football is at stake. This change is unlike any we have seen before. We must not allow the financial interests of a few top clubs from England, Italy, and Spain to destroy well-established structures. Football in Europe thrives off the fact that it is theoretically possible for every club to vie with the best on the continent in one competition. This dream must not be supplanted by a largely closed shop. National leagues are the foundation of professional football, its popularity and its appeal throughout society. It's irresponsible and unacceptable to jeopardise the collaboration that has emerged over the years. This collaboration is what has allowed the top clubs to grow in recent decades. The vast majority of European clubs, leagues and associations agree with us. Fans all over Europe are also speaking out. Against this backdrop, the UEFA Executives Committee unanimous approval of plans to reform the of the planned reform of the top European club competitions was the right thing to do today. This reform was an offer to the top clubs to come together under the shared UEFA umbrella after all. A painful compromise in some areas. However, this offer was rejected and the motivation is obvious. Football at any level has always been strong when it has found solutions together. More than ever, the DFL and the DFB will campaign for this with all means at their disposal. Especially in light of the global coronavirus crisis, it is clear what football should stand for. Solidarity, not selfishness.
The Athletic UK have also put out something about Arsenal. And basically the headline of this article, according to the Athletic 14 minutes ago, is European Super League will make Kroenke's running of Arsenal even more passive and gutless. It felt fitting that the announcement should come on the day Arsenal toiled to a 1-1 draw with Fulham. They are emblematic of much that is absurd about this proposed Super League. The ninth best team undeservedly granted the seat at Europe's top table. And of course, I can't read anymore because you have to pay a ridiculous fee to read the rest of the article.
Right, Joshy, mate, what are your thoughts?
It's going to be good for some, but bad for some. Like the likes of Barcelona, they playing not the best leagues with the best teams, but in and out, they'll be playing the best teams in the world every week in the Super League.
But that's not beneficial because it's taking the top teams from different divisions and taking that away from them, from that country. Just taking it. Do not get me wrong. They're not playing the best of teams, and I'm not saying they do. But for the likes of the lower tier clubs in like Villa, that like I'm using Villa as a like example, like in England anyway. They deserve that credit of being able to play that top team, and I'm not saying like in a league they don't, but it's taking it more away from England because in England, this just shouldn't happen, and I'm sorry to whoever said this should go ahead. I'm ashamed because no, there's no reason in any way, shape, or form this should go ahead. There's no reason at all.
They can't punish the clubs. They are too big. It's like 80% of the Premier League TV audience is a few teams. You can chuck them out. The TV companies will rip up deals and renegotiate for a fraction of the value. You're sadly not wrong there. However, what I would like to say is Quadeca has become a Hull City fan. His response to, I bet you've never been to Yorkshire, let alone Hull. There we go. Hull City to the moon on our way to destroy the championship. Spelt wrong.
The EFL put out the state. I think you've seen the EFL statement.
Yeah, I've seen that. Can I just say what Gary Neville said last night was spot on.
Spot on. Absolutely spot
Totally
on.
agree.
Yeah, and this proves how bad the situation is because it makes Gary Neville and Roy Keane agree with each other for once. That's how bad this is.
Michael Richards and Roy Keane had a civil debate. Do you know how mad that is?
I bet we're going to see we're going to see something even more rare now. I think at 7 o'clock when they have the build up to Liverpool versus the Merseyside Reds, I think we're going to have Carragher. I think we're going to have Carragher and Neville agree with each other, and that's something we never see. Roy Keane and Gary Neville agree with each other. It's going to be Carragher and Neville agreeing with each other now at 7 p.m.
I don't know how many of you have seen this. I don't know how many of you play FIFA FIFA. They're planning on removing them clubs out of FIFA. However, PES is looking for a license to allow the Super League in their game, but FIFA do not want that.
So FIFA's now going to have the London Reds and the Merseyside Reds in their own division that's called ECL because they can't have the rights to the actual name European Super League. So FIFA's going to call it the ESL.
I think I've seen something. I don't know if I've misread or what, But I think they're taking them completely out of the game and removing them completely. No Pez name, no, just nothing. Nothing to do with them in the game. I don't know if I've read that right or what, but
I mean, now this is going to make next season's Premier League look very, very interesting.
It is indeed. It is.
Mm.
So we'll put quickly some more people on the stream. Harry, what have you got to say?
Harry?
Harry? Okay.
We give people a 5-second warning, then they're out. It's my threat to the people in charge of the Super League. I'll give you 5 seconds to run, and I'll chase you down with a corner flag.
Doing a West Ham
Is that like West Ham fan?
Yeah. I said it on my video yesterday. I said, you think you're going to come round Doncaster's local leagues and say, right, we're going to put the top 12 teams in Doncaster's Sunday leagues in their own league and the rest of you can go down elsewhere. If they tried to do that in Doncaster, we'd be chasing them down the street with corner flags. They wouldn't be doing it around our ends. Because I would beat them up. I'd beat them up big time. They won't be able to handle me and the rest of the Donny lads. Because I'm on the other side. I am from the other side of Hexthorpe, one of the roughest areas in this country. I'll round them all up and we'll beat them up together.
West Ham fans will take the corner flag from the centre circle to the edge of the box. Same problem Joe did from a few years ago.
Honestly, they've got no escape because they'll have West Ham at one end, they'll chase them down to South Yorkshire, and we'll chase them back down to London now with the corner flags on our end.
And then
the run up to Newcastle just got a lot of angry Geordies who've been out on the piss. And Deck just running in with some chainsaws.
Saturday night takeaway. Don't take away our football.
Stephen Mulhern dressed as some sort of weird.
In for a penny, in for a grand. The owners of the Super League
are in for a penny.
In for a grand.
And what Leeds are going to do, we will spy.
I'll tell you what Leeds are going to do. Leeds are going to... I'll tell you what Leeds are going to do tonight. Leeds are going to fucking smash Liverpool.
10-0.
And you know what? I wouldn't even bet against that because what Liverpool would play for a badge is tainted now as it was last night.
Let me have a look. What are the odds of...
Your players are going to be up. Blair, your players are going to be up for it tonight. Rafinha, Dallas, Phillips.
Really hope Rafinha plays because he's had a knock.
Yeah. Bamford, Phillips. Even fucking Berardi would be up for this one.
Get Joe Gelhardt his debut.
Yeah, you could give Gelhardt his debut. We could get him Blackburn.
It's going to be.
Oh, he's back. Dean's back.
Come on, Dean.
Wow. I won at them with a flying runner. Come with an eye. With the high. Well, where? I don't know. Want to see my keyboard? Okay. I'll get it for you. No!
Oh my god. Is that stand or is the building collapsing?
Thank you for that, Dean. Thank you for that.
Oh,
thanks for our local DIY lockdown session.
Yeah, see you next week.
Yeah.
And that was another episode of Homes Under the Hammer.
Forget Dion Dublin.
Dion Dublin.
Dion Dublin.
Oh, mate. Bruno Fernandes has seemed to have weighed in on the backlash against the formation of the European Super League with a message of support from an Instagram post on Wolves winger Daniel Pedence.
Right, those, by the way, are the odds from Sky Bet for the Leeds Liverpool game tonight. Please gamble responsibly. If you're under 18 like me, stay away. But if
you're over 18 like me, bet responsibly.
Yes. Please gamble responsibly.
I bet they've amended the odds.
But be warned, if you bet on the side of Liverpool, then you're not betting responsibly. Bet on the side of Leeds United. By the way,
why did you leave Richie
I
off
think everyone will be
preview? I don't think he'll play,
tonight.
mate. I'm sorry, Lucas. I just don't think he'll play the way that the form Regan Slater's in.
By the way, he's not a credible journalist, but in the last couple of minutes, he did say that all 14 owners and chairmen of the clubs that aren't in the Super League and the Premier League are furious with the Big Six and don't feel they should be allowed back in the Premier League. The FA and the Premier League will sway towards the 14 clubs and be on their side. So
I could report that and it'd still be true.
Yeah, they're not a credible journalist, but they have started to say that the FA and the Premier League are swaying towards the 14 clubs, and the Big Six are set to be kicked out of the Premier League. And Leicester City will be champions of the Premier League. Everton, West Ham, Leeds United. Leeds United will get Champions League football automatically.
The Irish guy from HITC has to get a tattoo of Patrick Bamford playing the violin.
And that also
means in the top half. If they get top four as well.
Yeah, and that also means that Wolverhampton Wanderers, Aston Villa, and Crystal Palace will be guaranteed Europa League football.
No. And who says Roy Hodgson isn't a brilliant manager?
And Sheffield United will stay up.
Paul Heckingbottom all the way. I always said he was a good appointment.
He's the bookies' favourite to be our manager, despite the battle being Richie Wellens versus. The battle in the media is between Mickey Mellon and Richie Wellens, but he's currently the bookies' favourite. I think you've got your website on the screen. If you go on a website for Sky Bet that's the Doncaster manager bookies, you'll see some of the names on there.
Hear me out now.
There's the bookies on now.
As much as I'd be delighted for literally for Europe, I don't want it. I know that might sound stupid, but I don't believe we have the squad depth whatsoever. I generally think we'll struggle unless we bring a lot of signings in. I think we will generally struggle because we just don't have the squad depth. Because when we had Grealish out, Grealish is out, but when we had some other guys out, we literally had 2 youth players on the bench, and it's just I don't know how we would cope in it. I don't know. Early time to tell.
Question for Blair: what's your prediction for Liverpool tonight? That's from a Leeds fan.
That is interesting.
7-0 Leeds.
Well, I think Leeds will go for it. So,
by the way, Billy, you put the wrong team name there. It's not Liverpool. It's Merseyside Reds.
B-Tech Tranmere.
Yeah,
real
Tranmere.
Everton.
Merseyside's blue.
Or even worse, they're a B-Tech Everton.
That's an insult.
Fulham
added comedy to an insult, but I love it.
And if Liverpool owners want to call me out for insulting them from calling them a B-Tech Everton, Henry, shove that up your arse.
I think it'll be 2 or 3-0 for the prediction, though, because I think they want to beat the absolute, out of Liverpool for this madness.
Yeah, that's where I can describe this situation is, what are they? An idiot sandwich, Chef Ramsay.
Right, this is from my local non-league side, North Ferriby. Reasons to watch non-league. Played by lads who are driven by success and community rather than money. The money you spend goes on improving the club, not straight to your owner's back pocket.
There's no Arsenal. There's no Arsenal.
That admin's a legend.
Do the right thing. Your club.
Oh my God.
Have a look through Fabrizio Romano's Twitter because he's got all the details.
He's
the most
so
reliable
credible.
out there. Most reliable source out there.
We've got Serie A clubs. Porto president can't participate in anything that's against the rules. We're in the Champions League and we hope to continue to be there for many years. Despite fake news yesterday, no Dortmund, no Porto, no Leipzig.
Yeah, Leipzig said
Ryan
Germany do
Mason
have a rule.
will be the Tottenham manager until the end of the season. Now, from a Hull City fan perspective,
I
that
really love that.
is brilliant. I love that.
Chris Powell set to assist him as well. So there'll be joint managers, Ryan Mason and Chris Powell.
That's excellent. After Borussia Dortmund's statement, Leipzig sources confirmed that they've no intention to join the Super League in the next week, as Sky Deutschland confirmed.
Who's up? Who's up? Sorry.
Leipzig.
That is Leipzig. Dortmund announced they're not joining.
Good.
FIFA official statement, disapproval.
I don't expect any German clubs to join unless they're being forced into a corner and have no choice.
They've got a rule with
been
their
announced
owners
in
on
there, or was that just a rumour going round?
Hull City have just announced that their sponsor stays.
All right.
So, yeah. And there's a huge
I
banner.
wonder if LNER is still going to sponsor us.
Any on the pitch. Football is for the fans.
Is that right now?
R.I.P. Peter Hotshot Lorimer.
Oh yeah.
I just want to say something because I'm watching Sky, and they've just bought loads, they show loads of images outside of Anfield, and there's loads of posts saying FSG, you don't own us, no Super League.
I know.
There was a banner on the fence also this morning that said, "Shame on you, R.I.P. Liverpool, the death of Liverpool Football Club." Just to give you an update from a Donny point of view, we haven't put out a statement yet. Obviously, we know that Preston and Lincoln and Barnsley have put out their statements, etc. We haven't put out our statement on the situation yet, but I'm sure it's going to be the rinse and repeat, copy and paste. In terms of the bookies for next season's managerial position, here we go. The big six: cash, dough, money, dosh, wonga, and bread. Yeah, I'm just looking at the bookies right now, old Grandpa Joe. Paul Heckingbottom, 10 to 11 to be the next Doncaster Rovers manager.
Hey, y'all. What's up,
good
man?
luck then.
Richie Wellens is next favourite at 7 to 2. George Boateng's next favourite at 7 to 1. Mickey Mellon's 10 to 1. Phil Parkinson's 12 to 1.
What's up, y'all?
James Coppinger's 16 to 1.
Yo, what's going on?
You're right. AD Boothroyd's on the list at 20 to 1.
No. I don't want that for you.
Hey, man.
I'm praying we don't get Boothroyd.
Hey man, I'm a fan of the Chelsea Football Club, but I'm from here in East Coast, USA, and I'm just wondering, so what's the whole situation? Because I've seen it, and to me, it doesn't seem too bad, honestly, for me personally. I'm not sure about how it's for you, UK.
Your
folks.
acting isn't that good, my guy.
Well, we'll put it in a short way. We're going to get poorer, and your club's going to get richer.
The signing on fee for all these big clubs going into this league is reportedly something like 3.5 billion.
All right.
And they're going to get 200 to 300. They're going to get 200 to 300 million euros as a welcome bonus.
Yeah, up front.
I see. So it's basically the money, money driven.
It is.
Yes.
How it is. It's pretty much the same for the NFL and the NBA over here. Which I mean,
yeah, it's basically take the teams, the richest teams out away from them, and leave the rest to starve.
Yeah, is it kind of what kind of system is it? Is it like a playoff? I've seen it's a playoff. Is it a playoff?
It's basically 2 sets of 10, and then they're gonna have if you get 5th or something, you could still win the whole thing if you go into a playoffs.
Yeah, because I remember back in 2004, basically it happened quite the similar thing where it became like a more of a state-driven thing, and it was kind of the similar reaction. However, we kind of got used to it, and it kind of became better as well because clearer streams, better stadiums, and stuff like that. But I'm not sure how you guys will react to that, and I mean, only time can tell, to be honest.
Yeah, but actions speak louder than words. Trust me, if this was happening in Doncaster, I'd be marching down there with my corner flag ready to aim and fire and aim some bricks. But
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Created by the poor, stolen by the rich. Did you see Man U fans holding that in front of the TV camera outside Old Trafford as well?
Did you see the guy? Did you see the guy at the Tottenham ground with a massive banner as all the players were leaving?
Say no to Super League. I saw that. That was on Sky Sports news coverage. And I think it's either today or tomorrow at 5:30. There's a planned protest by Chelsea fans outside Stamford Bridge.
Oh shit! Really?
At this point, forget COVID.
Fuck COVID, man.
They knew that COVID was the perfect time to announce this because people would be told to stay away and not protest.
I mean, how's COVID going over there? Is it like
Getting better with more vaccines, but it still needs sorting out by. I think we're still working towards this June 21st date, and I think we're still on track at the minute.
What's like the grouping system? How many maximum people have you got outside?
I think it's like rule of 6. I think we're back to the rule of 6, and we're allowed to sit outside of restaurants again.
Well.
Right.
Yeah, so we're back to like the tier 4 kind of state. We're not in complete lockdown, but we're going to gradually sort of go to tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, and like once the vaccines start coming in, and like when it gets to June 21st, we're expected to like ease the distancing restrictions, and the mask might be here for a while still, but we're still sort of getting to that stage.
I saw though it's 5 people that can move around in the European Super League, so it's not really no relegation, but
I know it's a league where you can't get relegated. Everyone loves Man United going away to Burnley and getting Sean Dyche masterclass with Pope in goal.
Just to update you, old Grandpa Joe, and a few other names that are in these Donny Rovers bookies. James Coppinger is on here for manager. Other names I can pick out. I'm not going to pick out all of them. Nicky Butt, maybe he left Man United because of this Super League decision, and maybe he wants
for a while.
Maybe that's why he wants a new challenge. Who knows? Daniel Stendhal's on the list. Derek McInnes is on the list, the former Aberdeen manager. Paul Tisdale's on the list. Bernard, the combination of Morley and Johnson, that's managers of Chester in the National League North or South, they're on the list. Neil Harris, Neil Lennon.
Grassroots?
This is like Donny Rovers bookies, but yeah, that's grassroots Chester.
I've seen like he said there's gonna mess with like grassroots, but I'm not.
Yeah. There's going to be a wild.
So what's this English pyramid?
But hang on. Just to sort of finish off these names, Neil Lennon's on here, Roy Keane's on here, Sean O'Driscoll's on here, Frank Lampard's on here, Ian Holloway's on here, John Terry's on here, and Phil Brown's on here. So John Terry and Frank Lampard right now are in the bookies to be Doncaster Rovers manager next season. Lampard and Terry.
Well, this could be England's midfield for the Euros. Swaz Lynch gets his England debut.
I won't be surprised. If we see Fajiri Okunabiri playing in an England shirt.
Swaz Lynch gets his England debut. And on that note, I've got to get going because I've got a load of homework to do.
Yeah, I literally just finished my first uni deadline. I've got one more in a couple of days. Last one's on the 5th of May, and then I graduate university in November. So, and then I'm free, and then I go into YouTube full time, which is a lovely thing to do. So, yeah. So YouTube is now my full time career from this point onwards.
Boris Johnson get the boot for a World Cup final. David Cameron up front.
Do you remember that chant on? I think it was in Old Chadford a few years back. There was a chant. There was a steward that looked like Boris Johnson, and they said, "Super Boris, Super Boris, Boris for England, Boris for England."
Gavin Williamson at right back.
Oh
you
my
gotta
God!
rate Boris, mate. You gotta rate
He
Boris.
can't educate a fucking sheep. He can't educate a fucking sheep. Never mind organise a defence.
Yeah.
David Attenborough, yeah.
He's the
Half-time
tactician. He
closing
knows.
press conference.
You know what's going to happen with this Super League, with the Americanization of it. We're going to have quarters instead of halves, and we're going to have halftime shows from fucking Beyonce and Jay-Z with a Cardi B hologram. It's going to be in between VAR decisions, you're going to have a moment like
not that bad, bro. Come on.
Well, like imagine if it's Man U v Bayern Munich, and there's a VAR decision. We'll be back in a minute. Snoop Dogg Just Eat advert. Come back, VAR decision. They called it.
Oh, like the countdown
they don't even show the VAR decision for the audience watching at home. They just show a Just Eat advert while they're waiting for the decision. You just know it's going to happen.
What's about Americanization? What's about Americanization?
It's just not the Premier League. It's not European football. Americanization's good for what it is.
It doesn't fit, bro.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm literally American, bro. And to be honest, it won't fit into the European system. I'm gonna be honest, man.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed. Right, thank you for tuning in, everyone.
Right,
thank you to everyone who spent their time on the stream.
No problem, y'all.
This is my second stream today.
What's the time out there? What's the time in the UK?
Time in the UK
is
11
minutes
past 5.
Oh, all right.
This is like my second stream, so I've got to go across to a couple more now and do some more talks on live streams. So,
yeah, thank you, everyone. Make sure you tune in to listen to me at 7:35 tomorrow morning on BBC Radio Humberside, talking about Hull City's potentially imminent promotion if we win tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I'll see you later.
Thanks, guys.
Goodbye.